Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. I am back with that embellishment box that I showed you guys yesterday. And I know I said I was going to be doing some Alcatraz photos, but ultimately I decided not to go with the Alcatraz photos. I decided to go with these two photos of an old truck and some old tractors. Now, these were on the property that we had our Scrapping Reflections retreat on, and I thought it was just super cool. So I feel like these, along with the box, some khaki paper, and some leftover bits that I've been holding on to, should make an awesome layout. Fingers crossed. So let's see what I can do. Guys, so I am starting out with this craft paper pad that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. It was on clearance months ago, so very, very unlikely that Hobby Lobbies will still have them. Just wanted to put that out there because I do get messages occasionally about Hobby Lobby products that I have purchased on clearance, and sometimes it's a long time ago, guys. So, yeah. They still do have a khaki cardstock paper pad, but I don't remember exactly what it is, but I do know it is not this one. So I am going ahead and popping out the Dusty Attic embellishments here, and then I am actually going to ink them up a little bit. So this is chipboard, so it's still going to have that kind of brown color behind it, but you know, it's still chipboard, so it's going to have that color. So I have this scrap of blue paper from my stash, and I am just going to go ahead and use that. As you can see, this is me inking up the, I'm trying to scrape off some modeling paste that's on my mat right now, so, because I can't just sit still and do one thing. Are you guys like that? Like, it drives me crazy to just do one thing. So even when I'm scrapbooking, I like things going on in the background, whether it's music or YouTube videos or my husband talking to me or something. I just like multiple things going on at once. So I went ahead and inked that bad boy up, and then I use a regular distress ink from the Weathered Wood. And then I sprinkled on a couple of chroma mists. I sprinkled on the Ornament Gold, and then I sprinkled on the Shimmer Mist in Pearl. And that gives me a fun little texture over top of those chipboard pieces. So I have that over to the side, and then I have my two photos here. They're both horizontal themed. I don't know. I guess it can be called horizontal themes, but they are both horizontal photos. So I'm going to slap them in the center like this, and then I'm going to figure out what the heck I want to do with the rest of the layout. So I've got them in the center like this. I know that I'm going to pop them up on some fun foam just to give me a little bit of dimension. And I know that I'm going to mat them on 4.5 by 6.5 inch pieces of patterned paper. What's that going to do? It is going to allow me to have a nice thick border around my photos of a nice color, right? Now this is a chipboard piece that I received in, don't know exactly when, but it is a piece left over from one of MK's embellishment boxes. So I have that, and then I am going to pull out the film strips, and I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. I know I want to keep everything kind of centralized for this layout. I know that I want to keep everything in the center and not really spread from edge to edge. So I'm trying to figure that out. Now, these are the insides of the film strips. Probably not what, you know, was thought about when the film strips were made by 49 and Market. But honestly, the insides work too, right? Like, they work too. So I'm going to put those up at the top. And then I am going to figure out what the heck I'm doing. So I've got my fun foam. And my fun foam dealer keeps me all up in the fun foam. So that's exciting. I still have my butterfly shaped unfun foam, you guys. Whenever I am feeling particularly snarky or snassy, that's a new word, snarky and sassy together. We're being snassy. Whenever I am feeling particularly snarky or particularly sassy, I grab that unfun foam butterfly and use it to pop things up. I decided to go ahead and add some of that same chroma mists down over top of my layout, and then I'm going to figure out where I want the photos to actually sit on the layout. So I didn't exactly measure everything, so nothing is exactly like equidistant, but it's fine. So I decided I needed to add a little bit of distress ink to that leftover bit, and of course I added some of the same mists just to give it some continuity throughout the page, because this is definitely an in-your-face, these are vintage vehicles, so I wanted to make sure that everything kind of had that same sort of feeling on it. Does that make sense? I hope that that makes sense to you guys. So now I am trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do to embellish this, because I do tell you guys, sometimes I just don't want to embellish, and I know that that sounds funky because, you know, normally I feel like I'm a more is more kind of scrapbooker until I'm not. And then I'm just like, I don't know if I really want to embellish because I love these photos. I love this old truck. I love these old tractors. Like, they're just fun things. So I'm trying to be really conscientious to not overwhelm my photos. Sometimes I couldn't give a flying fig if I overwhelmed the photos with my product. Like, it just doesn't matter to me because I'm having a great time creating, and a lot of my scrapbooking enjoyment is putting things together and figuring out ways for things to look good, right? Like, that is part of my scrappy joy. But in this case, I'm trying to be really, like, careful so you don't lose what's in the photo. So I'm trying not to go too ridiculously crazy with my embellishment. So I'm going to use this chipboard piece as really like the statement embellishment, because it's right there in your face, right? It's right there in your face. So I'm just trying to figure out what else I want to do or what else I need to do. So I bring out these chipboard cogs and gears and such things. And I totally meant to put some of the metal gears that were in the embellishment box on this layout. And I just realized now when I'm doing this voiceover, like 10 hours later, then I completely forgot. So whoopsie on my part, but it's fine. I think the layout turns out great the way it is. And also, fun fact, if you guys remember, do you guys remember stress balls? Like, stress balls were the rage for a long time. And I like touching things. I'm a very tactile person. So I have a makeup sponge that is almost feels like memory foam, but it doesn't memory foam. And I squeeze it when I'm doing voiceovers. Because again, I can't just do one thing. I've got to have something else going on. So this keeps that at bay while I'm doing the voiceovers, because otherwise you get the times where I start looking off to the side and I'm just running my mouth and I have no idea what's going on, and I look down and the video's over and I'm like, whoops, didn't talk about anything. Or you get the times where I have, not in a long time, you guys, not in a very long time, but I used to fall asleep during my voiceovers, and I'm just going to be very honest here. I don't listen to my own videos. I don't watch my own videos. If ever my family tries to put them on when we're watching YouTube, I'm like, stop, turn it off. I don't want to watch my own videos. So I honestly have no idea how long I've fallen asleep while doing voiceovers. And you might be thinking, Sandy, you cannot really fall asleep while you're talking. Well, let me just tell you guys something. I have a very special set of skills, and falling asleep while talking is one of them. So I probably should look down and tell you what I'm doing, because even though I've got the little stress ball thing going on, I'm still looking around my room thinking about that needs to be cleaned up. I have to put that away. I need to figure that out. Oh, I need to finish that layout for tomorrow's video. I've got all the things going through my head right now. So I pull out my flowers, and I pulled out that big flower because I thought, wouldn't that be cute to put a big old flower right there? But no, it was not meant to be. But I do have these awesome gears. So the gears and things that you saw me placing down were not in the embellishment box, but they were in MK's shop. And I'm not exactly sure what she still has in the shop, what's still available there. But go check it out because there are a lot of cool steampunky type things in the shop this month. Like, I am a super, super big fan of this month's release. You have no idea. So now I'm going to go ahead and add some flowers, and I'm still using my hot glue gun because let's just be honest here, people. I have not brought a bottle of Nuvo Deluxe adhesive from the shop to my scrapbooking room. I just haven't done it, and I think about it all the time, but I just don't do it. So I don't know what the heck my problem is. And I'm really excited because the Nuvo bottles in the shop are the big bottles. They're not the small bottles. So super excited about that. Anyway, I am still hot gluing my pieces down. I love a hot glue gun, right? Like, I love a hot glue gun. I have used it and have continued to use it so much. I'm thinking about investing in a cordless one. But I like the mini size. So I gotta figure out what's going on in my life with my hot glue guns, right? Just got to figure that out. So I have these tile letter stickers, and I'm pretty sure these are thickers. And I am going to spell out vintage. And I wasn't exactly sure where I wanted to put it. I thought I would put it up at the top, but then I realized I was going to be covering up my film strip if I put the word vintage up there. I brought it down to the bottom, and again, I'd be covering up the little bit of film strip that I put there. And I really like that little touch. Like, I really like it. So I don't want to cover it up. So I decided to put my title smack dab in the middle of the two photos. And this is not something I do a whole heck of a lot of, putting titles in the middle of the page, in the middle of the photos. But I really like how it turned out, okay? I definitely like how it turned out. So I spell out the word vintage, and then I decide that that is not enough, right? Like, I've got this boring, bland title right there. I need to add some things. So I am playing around with my gears. I am playing around with my flowers. I'm just trying to figure out what that looks like together. And I will tell you that I adore these grungy kind of looking scrapbooking products and putting flowers with them. It just soothes my soul. I don't know. It's just something. Anyway, I am going to shut up now. Look at that embellishment. So awesome. Look at that tractor. She thinks my tractor's sexy. And I am one of those people that just started randomly singing in a YouTube video. I guess unsubscribe now? I don't know. No, don't unsubscribe. Don't unsubscribe. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.